Welcome to the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. We discuss 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know how to be concise. We'll jump right to it with our guest today. First question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, Sean, my name is Bryan Joy. I'm a father of 3 here in San Antonio. I'm also a military spouse. I myself am a Marine Corps veteran, married to an active duty Air Force officer. And I am also the founder and CEO of Gfaith Media, which is a faith-based mobile app and tech company.
Fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, question number 2, what's the best thing about working with a team?
You know, the best thing I'd say, my first part of my career was 17 years in corporate America. And, we motivated teams, high-powered, high-paid teams with money. And, that was fun, although it's not that hard to do when you have big piles of money in sales teams. Still rewarding. I learned a lot about coaching at that level. But here at Gfaith, we are just a few years old. We have not taken capital investment partners yet. So we are a group of 5 inner circle web developers, me, cybersecurity, tech people, and there's 5 of us, and most of those folks, including myself, have been largely volunteering for the past year or so. And so the best part about working with people like that is discovering their passion, because if they're here and we're not paying them yet, right? They're here for a larger cause and a reason, and learning each of their skills and their gifts from God individually is just the best part of being part of the team.
I love that answer, and you're right. The true litmus test of any engagement level is if they're willing to work for free and come in every day and be committed. So I think that's great.
Won't always be that way.
Say that again.
Yeah. I said it won't always be that way, but for now, it really is. It's a really kind of a window into someone's heart to see if they'll do it like that. It's pretty awesome to see people.
You bet. That's fantastic. Question number 3, I hear from other leaders of teams that it's a challenge to get team members engaged, and you're kind of touching on it already, but tell us any additional thoughts you have on how to help people be engaged.
You know, it goes back to my first answer, but I think, I've learned over the years, again, you can get people engaged with sales contests and money and equity in companies and all those things I've been a part of, but to really get people engaged, I think as a leader, for me to be humble, transparent, share my vision, admit my mistakes, because as a startup CEO, I'm an old mortgage banker, first time ever building a tech company. I make mistakes every day. And for me to provide that transparency to my team and then to bring them in and say, hey guys, I messed up, or I need to do this better. How would you do it? And then give them, literally the old book says, give them the shell, right? Give them the conch, give them the ability to do the task. I don't micromanage them. Our developer, Jarrell, is fantastically talented young man, 28 years old. I give him an idea, he runs with it. We share some ideas, and then it's his and he owns it. So I would say humility, transparency, admitting mistakes, and not micromanaging. That's how I do it.
Great points. Very succinct about things that each of us can be doing to help our teams be more engaged. Great comments. Question number 4, what other piece of advice do you have for leaders of teams?
I'd say, advice for leaders of teams. I look to, I'm a person of faith, so I have a model that I look to. And again, it goes back to that word humility. The old model of, I'm a banker again, like I said, so the old model of the rich banker boss with the cigar and his feet on the desk and barking at everyone for what they need to do. It just doesn't work anymore. It doesn't inspire people. You might make a lot of money, but they're going to leave, or they're going to be miserable and depressed. I think the humility piece, and just treat people like they're your equal, because they are. We're all made in the image of God, exactly the same. Every shape, color, size, hue, orientation, we're all the same. So treat people the same. And I think people will be surprised at the loyalty that it inspires. So
great insights. I really like those a lot. Question number 5, what other successful leaders of teams would you like to recognize that have had a positive influence in your life?
Oh, I was thinking back to some of the managers and leaders I've had in my life, and I've had 2 great leaders in my corporate career that I want to mention here. First was Glenn Spears, who was my first banking mentor in the early 2000s. And Glenn was a quiet man of faith. You never knew about his faith unless you pressed, and I did after hours. But I noticed that when Glenn would leave after a few years to go to a new organization, 100% of his team followed him from administrative people to executives, 100% walked out the door with Glenn Spears. And so I started pressing him and traveling with him. What I learned about Glenn Spears is that he was humble, and again, that word, right? And he just poured into people, and he acted like they were family. Now, he was a boss. He had rules, and people respected him, but he treated them as equal. So you can see the theme. It's where I think, the leadership style I aspire to. The second one is John Harvey. I had at Equifax. He was a senior leader. John had more kindness in his soul than anyone I've ever met in corporate America. And every manager around him, there were 5 of us, just ran as hard as we could just to work for John, even though we weren't paid the best in the organization. So I think kindness, those would be the 2 people, Glenn Spears and John Harvey.
Thank you so much for acknowledging what they've done for you. And clearly their influence has carried forward in what you're trying to do as a CEO. So thanks so much for recognizing. Last question. Tell us about your first job.
Oh, my first job, I graduated from University of Georgia on a Friday, the winter semester. And I went that Saturday, bought some really bad dress shoes. And on Monday morning, I was a mortgage banker at Home Bank Mortgage in Atlanta. I had a pretty overpriced suit on that I put on a credit card. And Home Bank Mortgage, the Flood family, Shane Croft and the Flood family taught me how to be a professional. They took kind of a rough guy out of college with scruffy hair, and they taught him how to be a banker. They taught him how to show up Vince Lombardi time, 15 minutes early to every meeting, how to work hard, how to be part of a team, and then how to strive to be number one, but do it with some grace and class. So I think that was the first job. I learned a lot. So good experience.
Those are always great stories, the first job and what we learned from them. So thanks for sharing that.
Right.
And thank you, Bryan, for being on the podcast today. How can people find you?
Absolutely. Thanks, Sean. I enjoyed it. You can find me at email me anytime at Bryan, that's Bryan at Gfaith.com, or go to www.gfaith.com and you'll see all our social media information and the video platform we're launching right now. So check it out.
Fantastic. This is Sean Richards with the Team Engagement Podcast, where leaders of teams share their insights. For more ideas, go to teamengagementpodcast.com, where you can download our Engagement Booster tip sheet and learn more about how you can boost engagement all the way from the hiring process to the exit process. Again, that's teamengagementpodcast.com. Thanks so much for joining us today, and have a great day.